She is touted by the media as the first Asian designer to showcase at the Paris Haute Couture Week and is one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people. For Guo Pei, who spent 50,000 hours making one single dress, nothing compares with the joy of wearing your heart on your sleeve. Julian Wagen sat down with the Chinese designer who dishes on why people were paying 5,000 yuan for her dress when they could get others for just 50.
Shine bright like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond, so shine bright.
This majestic gown made Rihanna the talk of the town at the 2015 Met Gala. This was also how most people learned of the name Guo Pei. Yet as early as the 1990s, she was already a celebrated designer in China. While she was working as the artistic director at a Beijing-based clothing company, one of her dresses was so popular it was bought by 360,000 people. Instead of riding on the wave of her commercial success, Guo opened Rose Studio, an haute couture boutique in Beijing at a time when people were still wearing the blue and gray Mao suits. Arriving at where you are today, this process must have been full of challenges. For example, at a time when most people in China didn't have a grasp of what fashion means, you opened the first haute couture boutique. How did you convince people around you, including your clients, that this was something worth investing in?
其实我做高定的时候，那时候20年前。
Actually, when I first started 20 years ago, I had no idea what haute couture was.
我不知道我做的叫高级定制，我不知道高定的设计师有哪些。
I didn't even know Dior and Chanel were also haute couture fashion houses. I simply liked it.
就是说，它是你的一个选择，你特别想。I
only had the person that I wanted to dress in mind to design a dress for that person and bring happiness to her. I was absolutely convinced that when a woman wears my dress, it's going to make her happy, make an impact in her life, or even change her life. So every day, this is what I told people. Every day I had to explain to people why my dresses cost so much. When I first started off, in fact, I always lived inside my world. I didn't know that a dress made by someone else only cost 50 kuai, or that a cashmere coat only cost 500 kuai 20 years ago. I thought that if I were to realize that perfect dress for me, it would cost 5,000 kuai. Everyone thought that I was crazy to ask for this much. In fact, I wanted a stage where I can showcase the finest things. That determination helped me choose the road that's right for me. After I made that grand gold dress using 50,000 hours, I looked up in the ceiling, and when I saw the dress in the ceiling mirror, it looked like the sun. I said to myself, this is what I always wanted. Yet everyone knew that the dress was no longer merchandise. It was not going to make any profit. It embodied my sacrifice. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't know why I wanted to do it. I think it was meant to be. It was my life mission. Now, I think each person already has his or her track when they're born. I followed my track by following my heart, and I saw my future.
A future that would redefine Chinese design. In April this year, Guo was recognized by Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. For Guo, haute couture is not just about making a dress, it's about fabricating a dream. That means being the spearhead of the industry and someone who can reinvent the tradition.
您曾经说过，做高级定制是一种工艺上的一种文化的传承。
You've said that at the core of haute couture is the passing on of a heritage. If 1002 Nights was about the pursuit of perfections for you, then the 2012 collection, Chinese Bride, was about the dissemination of traditional crafts and culture. 4 years later, what are your revelations today?
您有什么新的感悟呢？
我觉得我会似乎找到了自己。
I think today I've found a path to the future, a path where I can keep soldiering on. Making Chinese wedding dresses is this path, a path for our heritage. It can take us 100 years, 200 years down the line. While I cannot travel down this path for that long, but I'm certain someone else will continue along this path I've spearheaded. In a way, I seem to find my self-worth, that sense of responsibility.
担当叫责任。我觉得像《纽约时代周刊》这一份荣誉，当时我
I was very surprised by this recognition by Time magazine.
也可能这就是并非是你的目的。
There are so many people who I think are much more influential than I am, but maybe it's because people understood my message.
我的作品表达在大都会博物馆呈现的那件大件。
800,000 people saw that grand gold dress at the Metropolitan Museum. Almost everyone who saw that dress was surprised that it came from China. So people say that dress changed the way people think of Chinese fashion or Chinese design.
一种看法是真正改变了。
那您在不久前呢
You've just opened your first boutique in Paris. What are Western customers looking for in a Chinese brand?
里边寻找的是什么东西呢？
它是因为我是中国设计
They're curious about Chinese design. But I think they're also looking for something that touches them in a foreign culture. In fact, it's something that belongs to all humanity. Actually, I don't think it's because I'm a Chinese designer that they come to me. It's something in my work that touched them. I think of my work as a transference of life. Life is constantly being deducted from all of us. But if we transfer it or transform the time we lost into something else, be it an object or an emotion, it will touch people. Technology today can achieve much more than what humans can by hand, but it doesn't have much to do with life or the love of life.
所以我觉得高级定制和人类的这种工匠精神，它不可能失去，因为有人会存到那种。
While I'm scared of a future filled with virtual reality, I think haute couture and craftsmanship will not perish, and people will always come back to it.
美好，他会想回去，真的一定会。